Now, according to the African Union report, digital transformation is a driving force for innovation, inclusivity and sustainable growth for the African continent. It's estimated that investment in advanced technologies could result in a net gain of about 1.2 million jobs in South Africa alone by 2030. However, the lack of addressing infrastructure, education and inequality is the continent's downfall. And joining us to unpack this is a consultant at Frost Sullivan, Sisonke Mgwebi. Sisonke, a pleasure. Good afternoon to you. Hi, Sisonke, you there? Sisonke, hi. Okay, let's start off by maybe highlighting the kinds of opportunities that digital technologies, give the continent with regards to the socio-economic challenges and realities that the continent faces.
So then there's two aspects of these opportunities. One, the low-end tech and the more higher-end tech. So low-end tech, being able to put more infrastructure and people working in that end of the digital chain or stack, if you were talking technology, we're able to then create better mobile money opportunities for people in the more unbanked and lower end of the continent's income status to be able to participate in getting more opportunities to be able to share and spend money and also save money. And when it comes to going into the higher end, we're able to then do better big data collection, data centers to better help people understand, okay, how can they track their spending? How can they do specific things to also be part of that economy? And people will be getting jobs on that end. And then when we go to the much higher end of it, we're talking about software developers. There's opportunities locally and there's opportunities to live locally but earn internationally. And that does boost into our economy. The only thing when it comes to that end is we need to think about how to best ensure that the current businesses and startups here can have the availability of these people to work in their workforce too.
So we seem to be battling with your video at this point, struggling to see. I'm hoping we can sort that one out. But as we try with that one, I'm keen to get your thoughts also then on the things that do need to happen to make this a reality. Of course, this is an opportunity and we can fumble it or we can really, take it up with two hands and a key run with it. Talk to us about what that would take.
So when it comes to your trying to speak about the potential opportunity and the realistic opportunities that we have with the timeline that we're looking at. And so then, if I understand you correctly, what we can do is find ways to phase things in. It does take time. Technology takes time. So when it comes to, especially with women entering the digital workforce, they are able to better be supported by institutions, governments, and any other authorizing bodies when it comes to the education and being able to be given those skills to get into it. So that is a much longer time frame when it comes to everybody, but specifically women in the digital space. That is a realistic goal. And then the hopeful goal is that being able to use the hard code and the hard technologies from other more developed systems, and we use it for our specific issues in our continent. So that's something that is much more high and quicker return, but the more we invest in the youth and the people who are currently in the workplace being reskilled, the better.
I'm also keen to get your thoughts here on the issue of precision versus pace. You have mentioned here that, of course, it would be a phased-in approach, but also this would work if we were very, very precise. And that tells me that, we need both government and the private sector to play their role. What does that look like, specifically considering that regulation often lags innovation?
Yes, regulation is incredibly important. Private-public partnerships are crucial to being able to develop this part of our economy. Being able to incentivize private companies to invest in our economy is something that is very important. The government also does need to understand that they do also have a right to be able to leverage this, but they have a much longer timeline. If there's more people in the workforce over time, then there's a better opportunity for them to be able to thrive as a government and an institution, and us all in the country.
And the investment, Sisonke, to date, it looks like it is the private sector that has the balance sheets or even the capacity to be looking at issues of digital technologies, with governments mostly in survival modes post-COVID-19. Many of them are battling with debt, and as their local currencies also seem to be depreciating against the rand, that continues to be a struggle. Is it accurate to say that this would be private sector led?
I think it would be led financially by the private sector, but the environment, the landscape, and the ability to connect with specific people and do specific things and those incentives is from the government, the public sector. So those two have to go hand in hand. So they have two different ways of being able to support this this revolution and this growth in the economy. And so do we as people of the country and of the continent. We have a responsibility to enter into these fields and actually find ways to solve problems through digital tech.
Well, Sisonke, that's all we have time for this afternoon. Always a pleasure hearing from you. Thank you so much for your time. That was a consultant analyst at Frost Sullivan, Sisonke Mgwebi.